I was recently in a discussion with a friend of a friend, and he and I were responding to a picture that this mutual friend had on Facebook, and this picture was basically poking holes at the principles in the Bible that which biblical literalists use to condemn people based on one part of the Bible and not another. It was a picture of shrimp wrapped in bacon, and it was saying actually people who follow the Bible, this is forbidden too, you can't have that. And of course this basically is a jab at the people who say on the one hand, well, Leviticus says that I have to hate gay people, if only I had a say in the matter, but it's what God wants, it's not what I want, it's what God wants. And on the other hand, do all the other things that the Old Testament says you mustn't do, all the other 615 mitzvah that the Jews are still dutifully trying to follow, and Christians have conveniently forgotten all except for the ones that seem to suit their agenda. And the discussion I was having with this person ended up in them responding by saying, oh, ha ha ha, yes, laugh at us theists, but and I responded with, I couldn't help myself and responded with my kind of years of education in religious theory, and particularly around Christianity, and sort of made a response back to him. And this is where the conversation got a bit funny, because he basically said, oh, don't give me that Protestant crap, the Bible doesn't mean that, and are you saying that the true religion has misinterpreted itself for 2,000 years? And that's why I sort of stopped myself and thought, hang on, I'm having an argument with someone over something that I actually really couldn't care less about. I am not a Protestant, and I'm not a Catholic, and I'm not a Christian, and I'm no religion, and there's actually no point in me arguing with someone who is religious about which flavour of their religion is the right one, because they're all not right as far as I'm concerned. So it's a entirely pointless discussion. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the discussion was pointless and there's nothing to be gained from talking to this person, or indeed any person who has religious beliefs, because I don't think that. But it just was a sobering moment for me when I had to remind myself that actually I was doing something that I try not to do, which was sort of get into a discussion about whose belief is correct. I try not to take that approach in an argument when we're discussing things that are not about objective fact. And there aren't that many objective facts. Objective facts are, I am sitting on a chair, and that is factually true. And it doesn't matter whether I believe in it or not, or whether someone agrees with me or not. I am sitting on one, and it'll be true whether or not anyone else in the world is there to observe it or think it. Truth doesn't require discussion or agreement, it simply is. How everything else, and actually that's pretty much everything in the realm of the world of human thought, is not something that can be held as true. Even if you have complete consensus on a topic, such as, just to pick one completely at random, the men and women are equal. Even if every single person in the entire world thought that was true, or thought the opposite was true, it wouldn't make it true or not, because there is no truth. It is an opinion, and we can act according to that opinion, or we can act against the opinion, but it is just an opinion, it's just a belief. And when people don't have the same belief, then really, what are you going to do? I can't make someone think what I think, and they can't make me think what they think. And I'm sure we've all witnessed on YouTube the sort of veritable figurative screaming at one another, trying to make the other person see each other's views, but it doesn't really work. Of course, when you're talking about religion more generally, the stakes are frequently much higher, because talking about who's going to win in a fight, Batman or Superman I mean, maybe you might get a heated discussion in a comic convention, but that's the most you're ever going to get. But if you're talking about, well, which religion is right, Christianity or Islam, well, we have centuries of warfare to demonstrate that actually it's a much more important question for people, and they are willing to do a lot more to try and settle it the hard way if they have to. And this is why I think in this world we live in now, this large, connected, pluralistic world, it's even more important to try and step back from our opinions and our beliefs and say, well, I know what I believe. It doesn't matter if someone else doesn't think the same thing as me. Is it really important? It's just a belief. It can't do anything to me. Obviously, it does matter if someone else's beliefs govern the way we live. That's something very different, and I'm not trying to say it doesn't matter what anyone anywhere believes, because if they're the ones in charge, it matters a great deal. But I mean, if you're having a discussion with someone, if you're trying to share knowledge with somebody, if I have a discussion with someone who is, rabidly far right and is sort of racist, misogynistic, anti-gay, xenophobic, I would have very little in common with them. I would imagine that our views are going to be completely opposed, and there's not really going to be very much we're going to agree on. But does the fact that they think all of those things affect me in any way? Really, does them actually having those beliefs affect me? No, it doesn't, because it doesn't have to change what I think, and it doesn't have to interact with me, and I don't need to try and convince them that they're wrong, even if I think they are. So what? And ultimately, having this approach where you think that, well, okay, someone else having their belief is fine, doesn't mean you have to think their belief is right. It is just an opinion, and you can say if you think an opinion or a belief is rational or reasonable or fair or just or nice. You don't have to be completely neutral about it, but you can't say that it's right and you can't say it's wrong. These things can't be proven, so right and wrong are pretty meaningless unless you're talking about an objective fact. So I suppose in closing, I would just say, when you are having a discussion with someone and there is a difference of opinion and you are tempted to say you're wrong, well, just ask yourself the question first, which is that, okay, it doesn't matter if this person doesn't think the same thing as me, and hopefully that will make it easier to have the exchange in a way that makes it less fractious and more productive in understanding why they think what they do and where maybe common ground can be shared. This has been Illuminati Premise saying thanks for watching.